Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today's video is all about skincare. My goal is to help educate you on certain ingredients that are more beneficial or more harmful for different types of skin. I really wanted to have a video that was focused on helping people shop online for themselves, because I feel like right now we're not really able to go in person. We're not able to meet with beauty consultants and test out the products and things like that. Whereas in the past, you could go to Ulta or Sephora and try everything on and sit down with a beauty consultant for 15 minutes or whatever. And I wanted people to understand there are certain things you should look for rather than only focusing on recommendations or suggestions, because if someone on a website goes and reviews it with 5 stars, someone else could go and give it 1 star, and it could simply be because they have different skin types. So it's really, really important to know your own skin and know what to buy. So if that's something that you struggle with, stick around for this video and hopefully I can help you better understand your own skin and what you should buy for it. So first, I think it's really important for you to be able to identify your own skin. If you're in the makeup field or the skincare field, you tend to overlook that and just assume that everyone knows what their skin type is, when realistically, that may not be the case if they are new to the makeup world or if they just haven't ever bought products for their skin. So if you go throughout the day and you're constantly having to dab wetness, or if your skin's always breaking out and it feels really slick and looks wet, then you have a more oily skin type, which typically also means you have more acne-prone skin, but not always. If you have skin that you feel like is very textured, like you have dryness, you have a lot of redness, and you feel like your skin's very sensitive, that is typically more dry skin. And you can also have acne with that. That's kind of more that combination gray area, but specifically if you have the dryness, the peeling, the rawness, you need to buy products that are more geared towards dry skin than oily skin. Before I start talking about ingredients, I wanted to just share some general knowledge with you all. I think there's a pretty big misconception on skincare and what you need versus what society tells you that you need. If I was still working in freelance, some people would be frowning at me right now for saying this, but everybody's skin is different. There are 2 staple items that I do think everyone should use, but beyond that, it's really up to you. 2 things that I would recommend everybody use as soon as you get to kind of that puberty age and on, even if you don't wear makeup, would be cleanser, moisturizer. If you really think about it, if you're trying to budget yourself in your spending on beauty products and hygiene, your skincare should really be one of your top priorities. You get what you pay for, you really do. And I know everyone says that about everything in the beauty world, but honestly, I can make a $2 or $3 eyeshadow look just as fabulous as a shadow from a $50 eyeshadow palette. That's eyeshadow. What I cannot typically do is have my skin look really, really good from a few dollars worth of a moisturizer versus like a $30 moisturizer. Depending on what my concerns are and what the ingredients are, there are definitely gems out there of brands that are more affordable, but it's the ingredients that you have to watch out for, and typically the ones without the negative ingredients cost more. That's how they earn the price that they earn, because they don't have alcohol, because they don't have parabens, because they don't have sulfates in them. They get to charge more because of that. So if you think about it like this, an artist can have all the most expensive, beautiful paintbrushes and paint formulas and all that stuff, but if the physical canvas that they're working on is really textured and it has stuff on it and it's, ripped and torn and has holes in it, it doesn't really matter what products they put on it, It's not going to look as good as a clean, solid canvas that is not textured, that's not producing anything out of it. You know, it's just, I always compare skin to a canvas because you really want your canvas to be flawless. And no matter what you put on it, it's not going to look as good if your canvas is flawed. And even if it does turn out looking really good, you're not going to be confident when you take it off. So if you're going to splurge on anything, start with your skincare. That is definitely the most important part of any beauty regimen. Now, I want to cover some myths that you might have associating with these items. So, cleanser. Well, I don't wear makeup, so why would I need a cleanser? I can just put water on it. No. Girl. No. So, just think about this for a minute. Once you step outside, how many toxins are hitting your skin? How many things out in the environment? And just naturally produced sweat, bacteria. I mean, we have a virus going around. There is so much pollutants from the environment that get on your skin every day. It is actually just as important to wash your face if you don't wear makeup versus if you do. And that brings me to my second myth. A makeup wipe is just as good as a cleanser. It's so much cheaper. Why don't you take a look at those ingredients on your makeup wipe, because chances are they are not super great ingredients. Also, one thing that I used to do when I worked with a brand called Clarisonic. Now, I'm not saying you have to buy a fancy like skincare tool device, but it was kind of interesting. We would use a makeup wipe and then we would use the Clarisonic brush, and you could see how much makeup was still on the person's face. So I personally don't believe there's any makeup wipe out there that really gets the job done. The next myth. I have oily skin. I don't need to put a moisturizer on it. That's just gonna make it more oily. That is actually false. If you think about it like scientifically, our skin produces oil because it feels that it needs moisture. So if you meet that need before it becomes a problem, it might take care of the problem. So, and everyone's skin is different. Everyone requires a different dosage, so to speak. Take a while to get into that regimen, but I would say after a few weeks of using a moisturizer, you're actually gonna notice less oil production. Now, there are a lot of other products out there that people are gonna try and sell you on, and some of them are great. Some of them are super beneficial. The last general knowledge thing I wanted to talk about was the difference in daytime and nighttime. A lot of people will try and tell you that you have to use a certain number of products and that you have to use them day and night. And just to be clear, there are definitely some items that you should use as directed, like if you're looking at a specific concern and you're buying a product to target it, like anti-aging products, yeah, you should use those day and night because you want double the dose. But I have found over time that my skin does not like to get a double dose. If I do a full regimen or even just moisturizer and cleanser every morning and every night, my skin freaks out. I have found that I can only do stuff at night. I don't do anything in the morning. I mean, at night is when I clean my skin really, really good and I put on any treatments or moisturizer, whatever I choose to do that night. And that won't work for everybody, but it just really depends on your skin and what your skin needs. All right, let's talk about some ingredients to keep your eyes peeled for if you fall within the dry skin category like me. Some things that you should definitely look for when you're buying a new product would be hyaluronic acid, any kind of vitamins really. Vitamin C is really good. It helps brighten, lighten, and tighten your skin, so that's actually beneficial for all skin types. Coconut oil is really good in moderation. Anything calming like aloe vera, chamomile, collagen or antioxidants. Collagen is really, really good, especially if you have aging dry skin, because it will work to plump everything back out. If you fall within that combination area where you're like, yeah, my skin's dry, but I also get acne, that's where I would say you have combination skin. And all of those ingredients I just talked about are good, but in addition, you really need to focus on that vitamin C and things like that, because they're going to work to exfoliate and brighten your skin. But you can also add in some really soft ingredients that will focus on the acne, like witch hazel, for example. That's a really good, safe ingredient that is softer than some of the other acids that target acne that you might go to if you have more oily skin versus the combination skin. For oily skin gals, there's a couple of different things that you can look for. In general, it's kind of safe to look at oil-free items because you're not adding to that oil factor. Salicylic acid, glycolic acid, all those ingredients are really good for minimizing the acne and exfoliating the skin to get everything out. Once again, witch hazel, that's a good ingredient. Vitamin C, I've already talked about that for both skin types. Turmeric is really good. That's something that you might not find in as many skincare products, but it's just a really good thing for skin if it is more oily. And then retinols, if you have more of that aging skin and you're in the oily combination, it will definitely help to kind of dry things up. If you use retinol ingredients for anti-aging purposes, it's actually very important that you are hydrating your skin because it does make your skin drier. So that's why it tends to work hand in hand with oily skin to give, you know, really good results. Also, anything with coffee in it. So I haven't found a lot of skincare items that have coffee in it, but it is really good for the skin if you have more oily skin or you need to exfoliate a lot. So I would kind of place that actually for both skin types, but from the research I've done, it really suggests that it's great for oily skin specifically. There are a few ingredients that you should avoid with both skin types. And that would be, I feel like everyone knows this because they hear about it all the time, paraben-free, sulfate-free. That's not a gimmick. You should definitely avoid those ingredients in any of your products, but especially products that you're putting on your face. Another ingredient to avoid with all skin types would be alcohol. And there can be a little bit of a misconception there. Obviously, if you have drier skin, if you put alcohol on it, it is going to dry it out even more. But don't take that to mean if you have oily skin, you should use alcohol to dry out the oil. That's gonna be really bad for your skin. It's gonna dry it out too much. So, you know, alcohol can be useful if you have severe acne and you're putting it on there, but I wouldn't recommend that. That's pretty harsh, and there are other safer treatments that you could do to target that. But if you take away anything from this, go buy you a moisturizer and go buy you a cleanser. Pay attention to the ingredients, identify your skin type, and find what works for you, and treat yourself, because that $40 foundation is not gonna look like it's $40 if your skin has a lot of oil or dry flakiness or redness or texture. You've got to target those things before you focus on the makeup. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you were able to learn something from this and that it helps you when you are doing your online shopping during this crazy pandemic. Make sure to hit the like button and subscribe. I give up. It's not my day. It's just not my day. Rather than just focusing. I just lost my train of thought. Okay. Wanted to share, why am I so late? Hello everyone. Ugh. Stop. Why is it doing that?